Hello, my name is Jamie, and today I am doing a book review on Cat Kid Comic Club on Purpose by Dave Pilkey. This is the third book in this series. As of now, I believe there are 5 books. I don't know if the 6th one has been published. So we're going to talk about number 3. The story is about Poppy and Naomi. Cat Kid, or Lil Petey, isn't featured very much in this book. A little bit, but most of the story is about Naomi and Poppy. So Naomi has written a comic and she tries to get it published, but the publisher writes back and gives this whole list of things that are wrong with the comic. And the comic actually that Naomi wrote was pretty good. It's about these underwear wolves. Get it? It's just silly, these little cartoon wolves in underwear. It's just silly. And they stop all the monsters fighting because all of them are wearing underwear. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. All of us are wearing underwear. Like it's what's inside that counts, was the push of the comic. But the comic book publisher went on this whole thing about, because it's talking about underwear and not everybody wears the same underwear, it's offensive, and like all this stuff about gender, blah, blah, blah. It seemed like Dave Pilkey was kind of poking fun at people who get overly offensive about stuff that might offend different genders type thing. Like the publisher's response was so ridiculous, it made me think that Dave Pilkey was kind of poking fun at that ideology. I can't say for sure, I don't know. And then Poppy decides that she wants to write a comic. So she writes this comic, again, a really good comic. I need to show you pictures of these comics. Since I'm talking about them, I mean, come on. So here's the underwear wolves. See, they're just cute little cartoon werewolves in underwear. There's some more pictures of them. Poppy's comic, if I can find it over here somewhere. Where is it? It was really good. I actually liked Poppy's comic, I think, more than Naomi's. Poppy's comic, it's called Skelepup. So it's like these little skeleton people, like of course the Skelepup, and then the ghost girl, I think is what her name is, and this skeleton kid right here. The ghost girl just lost her cat. The cat died, which I don't know how that works since they're all already dead, but the cat died. And Ghost Girl doesn't want to do anything fun anymore because she's sad all the time. But Skelepup was like, okay, you have 30 minutes to be sad and 30 minutes to be happy. So you're not sad all the time, right? And Ghost Girl is like, I can't be happy. I'm too sad. And Skelepup is like, well, let's just pretend. You have to pretend to be happy for 30 minutes, and then after 30 minutes you can go back to being sad. And Ghost Girl was like, all right, we can do that. So she started pretending to laugh and pretending to enjoy things. And while she was pretending, it happened that she actually did have fun for those 30 minutes, and she was able to see the good that is still around her, and she was able to remember her cat fondly instead of with only sorrow. So it was really cute. Like, I'm totally not going to tear up right now, but it was really cute. But the publisher didn't like this comic either because it's too dark because of the skeletons, and that's also offensive. The dilemma of the book is, do we keep making art or writing these stories because some people are going to think they're offensive, or not everybody is going to like the stories that we write? And they deal with that, and the whole book is full of, because it's Cat Kid Comic Club, and all these little, they're not tadpoles anymore, they're, if I can find them, they're little frogs. Where is it? There they are. See, they're all in like class. Lil Petey, and I can't remember her name. I'm so sorry. I have a viewer who knows the names of these characters and tells me. So if you're watching this, can you tell me what her name is? But they're putting on the class, and all of these guys are in the class learning how to make comics. So this book, you can see, I don't know if you can see the different colors on the pages. All those, whenever the color changes, it's a different comic. So there's comics that are made with pencil, there's comics that are made with claymation, there's comics that are made with Dave Pilkey's usual art style and kind of a scribbly color look, which was like the werewolves one and the Skelepup one as well. So the different types of comics throughout the book is a lot of fun. I did make a list of pros and cons, and the con list is very short for this book. There was really only one thing. On page 57, let me find it so I can tell it to you accurately. So we'll start with the cons, and then I'll talk about the pros, because there's lots of pros for this book. But on page 57, Naomi is teaching the class how to draw werewolves, and one of the kids is like, "My werewolf is naked." And another kid is like, "Daddy, Naomi's making me draw full frontal nudity." So I didn't really appreciate that joke, because I don't know a lot of kids who know what full frontal nudity is, and that's not something I want personally to explain to my kids. Like, I will if they heard the term, but I mean, come on, what kid is dealing with full frontal nudity? So I thought that particular joke was unnecessary. I mean, they don't show full frontal nudity. It's just, I don't know why that joke is in there. Like, what parents are reading these books besides, I mean, to screen it like I am, but kids aren't going to know that joke. I don't know. But that's really the only big issue I have with this book. Let's talk about the pros, because there's a lot of pros in this book. All right. Flippy asks Naomi what she will do after she gets rich. What is her purpose? So Flippy is the dad. I don't know if I showed you a picture of him. He's like the fish right there, and he's like raising all these, they used to be tadpoles, now they're little frogs, and he's trying to get Naomi to not just want to be rich, but to actually do something that has purpose. So I liked that Dave Pilkey put that in here, that it's not about the money, but I mean, you got to make a living, obviously, but you want to pick something where you're actually helping people. It's not just about getting rich. Another pro about this book is it encourages kids to draw. It says everybody can draw. You just have to practice. Some people are better than others, and everybody has a different art style, but if you practice, you can do it, especially if you love it. On page 102, this book outlines what a story needs to actually be a good story. You need a plot, character development, and story cohesiveness. You can't just plop in random stuff here and there without talking about it previously, because it's hard to follow when somebody is actually watching your story. I just put on here Skelepup. I liked that comic. It was probably the best little comic in this book, was Skelepup. The comics have colored pages, so they are easy to find. I already told you about that. Right here, you can see the different colors. Don't give up even when you fail. That's another lesson taught in this book. And the last thing I wrote here was, it's okay if someone doesn't like your art, because we're all different and different people like different things. So if you write something or draw something and this person likes it, this person doesn't, that doesn't mean that you should just stop drawing or that you should stop writing. People are allowed to not like your artwork. Not everybody is going to like it, but you as an artist shouldn't stop. You shouldn't give up. You shouldn't quit just because you get some negative feedback. Actually, you can take that feedback and become a better artist, even if it's from people who are not being the nicest. Sometimes they have good things to say, even though they're not trying to help you. So that was a good lesson. Don't give up, even when people don't like your artwork. There was a couple things in here. I didn't write them down because I couldn't put my finger on why I had an issue with it. But there's like a couple chapters or a couple lessons that were vague. And I think Dave Pilkey was trying to stay neutral. Like, depending on where you are on the political spectrum, you could interpret these lessons how you want it, pretty much. And I wonder if because if you watched my review for the previous book, Cat Kid Comic Club Perspectives, it was very odd compared to the rest of his writings. And this one is very much neutral. It's not right-leaning or left-leaning. And I think the last book was very much left-leaning. And it just had a lot of political commentary that isn't usually in his books. So this one had zero political commentary. So again, makes me wonder what was going on with that book, because now we've read this one, the book after that one, and it's gone back to regular Dave Pilkey style. So who knows? I don't know, you guys. I don't know what was going on with that book, Cat Kid Comic Club Perspectives. So this one, personally for me, it's not my favorite, but I don't see anything wrong with it if your kids like the Cat Kid Comic Club series. This is a good addition. So that's my thoughts on Cat Kid Comic Club on Purpose. It was published in 2022. It has, let me tell you real quick, 221 pages. I already showed you some of the pictures. Again, Skello Pup was my favorite. I really liked that one. It was so sweet. If you have any questions about this book, leave them down in the comment section below. If you want to see more content like this, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in our next one. I hope you're doing well. Goodbye.